869. Andhra Pradesh 432, 372, 475, 407, 412, 145. Pondicherry, of course, 14, 10, 27, 22, 25, 22. Whereas the South Indian intake is 1444 in 2013, 1204 appeared, 1925 in 2014, 1544 appeared, 2019, 2015 and 1690 appeared. Whereas the All India position you see 17,000. So what is the ratio? You find the students from South India are appearing less and choosing hospitality education. They are not choosing up this career, this opportunity. There are reasons for that. Causes of less applicants. What are the causes for this? We have a social phobia. We say, Bera banega kya? Khansama banega kya? But this kind of, approach in the minds of the people, which forces them, there's a social phobia and lack of awareness. People do not know that it's a huge potential area where the growth is phenomenal. If you are having the right kind of aptitude and attitude, you grow faster than any other industry. Parental insistence. The parents guide the students to do engineering, medicine, chartered accountancy, even fashion designing or journalism. But they don't prefer their wards to study hotel school, in the hotel schools. Transfer of responses. The mere applicants who study in the hotel schools, while they work in the industry or while they are undergoing some kind of outdoor catering performances, they transfer the treatment meted out to them by the peer group, they transfer it to their colleagues as well as to their parents, and their parents in turn, it is passing on to the society. Mismatch between expenses incurred on education and initial returns. In government education, the student spends approximately 3 lakh of rupees, whereas the returns when he starts for the salary, maximum students get not more than 12,000 to 15,000 salary. Now there is a survey which our students had done. This was a project given to them, which I am projecting before you. What is the average working hours experienced by students in other career? That is not in hotels. I am producing that first. Average working hours, less than 9 hours, 33% say. Approximately 9 to 11 hours, 60% say that is there in the other career. 12 to 14 hours, 7%, and more than 14 hours, 0%. So 60% of the respondents feel the average working hours experienced by the students in other career is 9 to 11 hours. Let's see what happens in the hotels. What's the average working hours experienced by students in the hotels? Less than 9 hours, 0%. It is inversely proportional. Then 9 to 11 hours, 20%. 12 to 14 hours, 53%. And more than 14 hours, 27%. So 53% of the respondents feel the average working hours experienced by the students in hotels is 12 to 14 hours. What package level maximum placements in hotel take place? Less than 10,000, 27%. Of course, there's a caliber difference also. I will speak on that. Because when the students of that caliber are not appearing for the joint entrance examination, so what we get, we have to turn out what we get. So less than 10,000, the hotel industry is also right, because they are not getting the right kind of people, so they are taking them at a lesser salary. Between 10,000 to 15,000, 53%, 15,000 to 20,000, 13%, 20,000 to 25,000, 7%, which are the best lot amongst the lots that we have in the hotel schools. So 53% of the respondents feel the maximum package level offered by hotel to graduates is between 10,000 to 15,000, and the least being between 20,000 to 25,000. When do many students leave the hotel after joining? Because we have seen a trend that they leave the industry once they join. Before 2 months, 13%, 2 to 6 months, 47%. And 6 to 2 years, 27%, and after 2 years, very few people leave the industry until unless they get better offer from the retail trade or other service sector. 47% of the respondents feel that the students leave the hotel between 2 to 6 months after joining. What were the reasons for them to leave the hotel? Low pay package, 40% feel. See, that is reflecting. Long working hours, 33%. Even though there were people who were saying that 53% of the people say that it is long working hours, but only 33% of the people quote it as a reason for leaving. Unable to handle pressure, 7%. For better opportunities, 20%. 40% of the respondents feel the reason behind the students leaving the hotel is low pay package. We have a collective responsibility as hoteliers, owners, managers, training managers, HR managers, and line managers that we supervise the trainees when they are called for the outdoor catering. From the colleges, from the institutions, we send the students for the ODCs. And then we send, because the curriculum has got about minimum 17 to 20 weeks of industrial exposure for all the students. And then the induction program that takes place in the hotels once they join the hotel industry. The most important, the peer group, the workforce with whom these people work, they do not treat them well. They do not respect them. They do not motivate them. They discourage them. That is one of the reasons that we find that trust, respect and motivation builds up relationship and thus develops a working environment. We must emphasize on developing, and that is why this elite panel, we are discussing that human resources, the HR manager's responsibility is to develop a working environment for these students. It's a collective responsibility because what they learn in the industrial training, what treatment they comes, it is because after coming back from the industrial training that they change their idea. They say it is better to join the service industry than the hotel industry. So we need to introspect, we need to work on a process where we respect them, we treat them, and we treat them because we treat them as a golden goose. We don't have to kill them at once. Let it lay the golden eggs day by day, and let us be rich with the human resources available with us. Thank you very much, please.
Thank you very much, sir. In continuance of what Dr. Rajamohan said, some thoughts on sustainability. The person the need to keep him engaged, his well-being, environment, health and safety, occupational health. And this, when we talk of sustainability, it is pertinent that we look not only at hospitality, it's a wider topic. And I would like to speak on this for a minute or two, despite the time constraint. I got a presentation which I'm not putting up, but I would like to speak on this because I'm coming from a company which is over 100 years in a multi-business, where we have a large number of people, where you have several practices, and despite operating in states like West Bengal and various places, where because of the engagement which has been created with society, all stakeholders have been engaged. Therefore, there are no lost man days, there are no strikes. We are managing very well because of having the environment along with us. You know, nowadays, corporate social responsibility, what I mean to say, when we only look at the bottom line and we concentrate on only one pillar, that is economic, corporate social responsibility has to be done. That is why government has made corporate social responsibility spending compulsory. Now, in corporate social responsibility, there are many things which can be done to develop the environment, develop people around you, develop society. I would only talk, yesterday I was talking to Mr. Rangachari, he was talking about ILTD, talking about Guntur, our leaf tobacco, and various our factories where we have we are generating employment for something like 6 million people, although our direct employees are only 30,000. 30,000 plus about 20,000 service providers, but indirect employment given to 6 million people through various initiatives like eChaupal. Therefore, what is the need for businesses today to be sustainable for tomorrow is to ensure the environment around and see that all the stakeholders, whether it is a vendor, whether it's a student community, whether it's the catering colleges, whether it's the regulatories, everyone is with you. In such conditions, engagement can be much higher and delivery will be much higher. Now, there was a slight modification to the pink slip. I got another 15 minutes. We got time for questions. And the first question which I left balanced, my apologies to you, I could not continue that time. Can we have your question coming in? And then the others.
Good afternoon, sir. My question I'm going to repeat again. Like what you said and what sir said in his presentation. You were saying to cut down the manpower, to introduce multi-skill or multi-kill. That's the actual person who's working there, he understands. Now, my question is, what kind of message are we giving to our society in terms of new freshers who are keen to join our industry? And are we creating unemployment in this way? The people are not ready to join and they are going to some competition services or competition service industry. So how do we deal with this?
You have actually brought up a very...
I have a slide for that as well. Because I
We will
wanted
share.
that question to come first before I...
Please do share with us, sir.
Then I suggest you answer.
Sir, can we have that slide, please? On hospitality education again.
In the meantime, I think we should actually benchmark ourselves to other industries. Unfortunately, in our hotel industry, we do not look how other companies and other industries are working. If you look at all the other industries, the number of employees have been reduced. This will not create unemployment because we have a shortage of manpower, skilled or people with an attitude to work in our hotels. Our unfortunate problem is right now, many of the people who join us do not have the attitude for our industry. We are a service-based organization, but there are other service-based organizations like hospitals, the IT industry, of course, the retail industry. There's so many these things. But they are setting up newer and better systems. You see how hypermarket or the new shopping malls have changed the way employees are employed. Look at the way we treat employees in our industry. When I joined, that time my grandmother asked me, are you this side of the cashier's counter or that side of the cashier's counter? In the 80s and 90s, joining the hotel courses was a glamorous job. But by the time it became 2000, the IT industry took off all our glamour. We have no more glamour left, I promise you. Nobody wants to join us. I'm sure he will tell you the same thing. Nobody wants to join us. It is our responsibility to make it a glamour industry again. Attract people. But if we have to give that attraction, we have to pay better salaries, 100%. We have to make working hours better, because I'm sure everybody here will say, oh, in my youth I used to work 40 hours, 50 hours, 70 hours. Is it really required? Are we talking something that should be followed in today's date? I doubt. Our youngsters are more intelligent than us. They will not be taken for such an easy ride. They know that this is their entitlement. They work because they benchmark themselves to other industries, especially the IT industry. I come from a place called Kerala. Everybody will say, "Arey, but if I join any IT industry, he gives me 18,000-20,000 rupees as my first salary. And here we offer him 10,000 rupees. Why would he join us?" So until we change attitudes, until we change ourselves from within, we will not be able to attract people to our industry in the numbers that we require. And unfortunately then what happens is anybody walking down the road is pulled in to become your staff. Because at that point we are crisis management. There is not enough staff. So I'm sure every HR manager is asked the same question.
I'll continue with
Please,
what
sir,
Mr.
please.
Vijay said. Now, I'll just put on that slide. See, what we need to do, the question was very right, how do we engage more people for this industry? And vigorous campaigning by the ministry. The Government of India has taken up an initiative, and we are producing under the capacity building for service providers. We have the Hunar Se Rozgar program as well as the skill development program. These are the two programs which have been initiated by Government of India for those students who have dropped out, could not complete their 10th class, or they have completed the 10th and they could not continue a higher education. We are providing some kind of certification for them. This is there. And then not only here, it has to be a collective responsibility, not only the ministry, the public-private partnership, that the industry professionals, leading professionals, they also come on the media, speak about the importance, because tourism, as Prime Minister Modi has mentioned, is one of the important T. The 5 T's, tourism is one of them. So we need to, the output of industry is going to increase. We are coming up with more and more number of hotels established. And tourism industry is going to grow. Because food, shelter and clothing is the most important thing for a human being. And it will never die. And India has got such a vast products, tourism products, that one lifetime is not enough to explore India. So we have the greatest potential within India, and we have the greatest Atithi Devo Bhava concept, the humbleness, the humility with which we serve. When these two characters are available with us, why not we propagate it, we advertise, and we let people join this industry. Change the selection criteria. Right now, we have a common entrance examination, and then we select any Tom, Dick and Harry, because applicants are less and the seats are that many. 17,000 applicants, 18,000 seats. So what is it? There's no selection. Where is the talent going? They're going to engineering or going to other sectors. Why not provide that this industry provides the maximum growth opportunity? Involvement of student through role play, personal interview and group discussion at the time of selection, which has been introduced because Ministry of Tourism has, the National Council for Hotel Management has tied up with EHL, that is École Hôtelière de Limited, Switzerland, and we have signed an MOU for which our curriculum is totally being changed. And we have a selection criteria also in which role play, personal interview and group discussion will be held for the candidate, because we have heard that whenever the campus recruitment takes place, I interact with the people and they say that communication skill is lacking. Why? Because we don't get the right kind of students coming to the institutions. Standardizing curriculum, with the efforts have already been initiated. Care and caution during industrial training. It's a collective responsibility. You may request one of the institutional faculty to also visit your hotels and interact with your line managers and training managers for clarity in that area. Enhancing minimum wages, that has been discussed. We need to enhance the wages. Motivational techniques in human resource. We speak, it's always bookish, but do we practice? We need to practice that. We all are learned. We all speak very great about motivation. It's all bookish. We need to practice it. Favorable working conditions. Give him the responsibility. Make him feel that he's important. Call him by name. Yes, Mr. Rohit, this is your responsibility. Incentives and rewards. Best trainee. Many hotels do that. I don't say that they don't do. But why not enhance the number of best trainees? Why do we limit it to one? Rationalizing the working hours. If we do all these things, I'm sure this industry will get respectable manpower. And we need to treat them with respect. Thank you, please.
I just say two things in response to your question, sir. You know what we've done in the company today. You know we